Good afternoon. I know it's been a while since I've posted anything, and the first time back is an outside broadcast, which is pretty cool. I am currently walking along, I can't wait to this Horse Guards Road. I'm in London. That is St James's Park behind me. That's a noisy bike. It's about 3:30 on Friday. I've brought myself up to London just for the last little vestiges of freedom before I have to settle back down. I'm a bit out of breath because I'll just have to walk from Charing Cross to Embankment, get on the tube, come out to St James's Park, and here I am. I'm currently walking up towards Buckingham Palace, which I may show you in a minute. First couple of things. My last bit of activity on my page was, of course, my little message that I had to get myself sorted out medically and personally. Things are settling down a lot better. And obviously I'll talk about the other elephant in the room. Hopefully you can hear all this, by the way. I really am out of breath. I really do need to get myself sorted that way. But basically, so what was going on, because it has settled down now. It's been about a month since I posted that message, and basically what's happened is, medically, I mentioned it before, I had a massively cracked wisdom tooth, which is on my left hand side, right at the back. The root got infected. I was in absolute agony. That last video I did regarding Mr. Who's his face, I was in proper agony. I was in ibuprofen and paracetamol as often as I could, every 4 hours, every 5 hours, whichever is medically recommended. Probably went over the board a bit, but anyway, so I got some antibiotics for that, and I was supposed to have it taken out a couple of weeks ago. I got a phone call 7:30 the day before to say the chair has broken, the dentist chair, you know, that one. So they couldn't do it, so they've had to reschedule. But I'm not fussed because the antibiotics did the job, as I did last time, and I'm currently pain-free. Don't touch lots of wood. There's no wood around. It's all metal railings. The other medical thing was my deviated septum, which I have done a video about. Lots of consultations, lots of visits with ENTs, and again they said, right, we can give you your surgery. They said it might take a year, and this was about 4 or 5 weeks. They said, right, we can do your appointment, do your surgery on the 18th of December, which is exactly a week before Christmas. Now the problem with that is you have to shut down for 2 weeks because it is quite intensive surgery. You get black eyes, you get basically tampons up your nostrils, for lack of a better expression. I'm going to quickly cross this road and hopefully not get killed by cyclists. So yeah, so you've got shut down for 2 weeks, and I'm working between Christmas and New Year, so I can't do that. So I've had to reschedule that for next year again. I had that bout of chronic sinusitis, which again, medication and what have you has cleared that up, so I'm all good with that. So I'm not fussed, so I can do that on next year. So the medical side of things, I'm not worried about. So we can wait till next year, and then I'm sure I'll do some kind of grotesque video blog with lots of blood and fluids and what have you. That's normally what happens with these things anyway. So that's the medical side of things. Now the personal side of things, this is potentially upsetting. Well, it was upsetting 2 years ago when it started. For the first time in my entire life, at the age of 50, I'm living on my own. Things happened a couple of years ago. Nothing gratuitous, nobody went awry, that kind of thing. You just fizzled out after 20 years. It happens, I'm a statistic. So that's that side of things. Oh, by the way, back in the palace. A strange people stand beside you. So, yeah, so here I am in the middle of London, taking some time out. So all that aside, I'm out on my own. Luckily, things sort of came together, which has happened before for me. And I was able to give myself a huge buffer. Just let me get out of everybody's way here, you know what people in London are like. Managed to give myself a huge buffer where I was comfortable. And it wasn't as dramatic or as, what's the word, financially devastating as it well could have been if a certain set of circumstances, which I won't go into, happened to converge at one point. So basically I'm all good. I'm medically fine, personally better. There's no animosity, no hate going on. It's upsetting because these things do happen. But again, like I said, I'm a statistic now. But it's a new chapter, as they say, when influencer females put on a bikini and stand underneath a waterfall and say, oh, it's a new chapter in my life. No, well, this is what's happening with me. It is quite telling though. Let's get back onto the other subject. That's all that out of the way. A certain Mr. Level Earth Observer and myself were, at the time I posted that, had a bit of a Barney, for lack of a better expression. Now I posted that video, and at the end of it I said that I'd mentioned to some people who I see, hopefully I'm not making you too sick. This isn't a fantastic gimbal. Basically I said that I had spoken to some people through work and hypothetically asked the question, if they had come across a certain type of person who had certain beliefs, would you carry on employing them in a high-risk job? Now, obviously Elio took this extremely personally, because he does like having the attention all about himself. That's probably why he Googles himself so much. I never mentioned him. I never mentioned his name. I never mentioned what company he works for. I never mentioned where he lived. Nothing I said whatsoever I could be using any way at all to identify that individual person, not any individual person. That's why I prefaced everything I said with hypothetically speaking. Now look at the definition of that. You're talking about a hypothetical situation, naming or not locating anybody in particular, and just saying, what would you do in this set of circumstances? Now, obviously, Elio, I've got the comments on that last video saying he's going to sue me. Everything's out of his hands and it's up to someone else entirely if they're going to go ahead and sue me. Well, it's been a month, and apart from the change of address, I'm still going back to the old house to say hi to everyone and pick up some shit I could leave behind. So far, nothing. Haven't heard anything. Apparently there was another video, I haven't watched it because I just can't bring myself to watch him anymore, where he said he backed off or something along those lines. I find that very hard to believe because, like I said, nothing nothing actionable was said. I basically put it to like these people I knew through work. What would you do if this random, hypothetical, non-existent person who has no name or location, what would you do in that situation? And most of them said, I'd really question their, what's the word? Intelligence, education, sense of reality. Are they able to string coherent sentences together, that kind of thing? And when you've got one person just saying the same thing over and over again, yes, I do believe we're at the International Space Station still. Yes, I do believe we landed on the moon. Yes, I do believe there was a pressure gradient allowing the atmosphere to stay on the planet next to a vacuum, which again is not a vacuum cleaner. It never has been, never will be. Anyway, so that'll do for that. Thank you very much for watching. I am going to shut this off because I'm here all day. Well, say all day. I'm here in the afternoon. I'm off to the theatre again. I've seen something new this time. I don't know if you're aware of I think it's an 80s film called Noises Off. It's a film, Christopher Reeve and Michael Caine, Denham Elliott, Mary Hemingway. First half is about this chap trying to put on a stage show, and it's a disaster. Second half, by all accounts, is in complete silence because it's the back of the set. They rotate the set 180 degrees and everything's going on behind it. So I'm looking forward to it, this one. It's outside my comfort zone because normally I've done Back to the Future 3 times, Book of Mormon twice, bless you over there, and Harry Potter, Cursed Child, which I wasn't that fussed about. It's a magic show rather than a stage play. He keeps on with his Facebook posts about, oh yeah, they're going to make it into a movie. It wouldn't work as a movie, never would it. But anyway, so I'm going to go see Noises Off. Tamsin Alfred, Felicity Kendall, James Fleet, Matthew Horn, and some other guys are in there. So yeah, so I'm going to take a walk down the mall now, go up to Piccadilly Circus, turn right, go across the top of Leicester Square, round the back into Chinatown, because I always have Chinese food when I'm in London because I'm getting very good at using chopsticks. I have to say, walking through London at this time of night, this time of year, I mean, I was there literally 3 weeks ago with Luke to watch Book of Mormon. It was lighter than this at this time of day, but obviously nighter drawing in, like the old people say. You've got loads of people of all different races, cultures, etc. milling around. It's the same deal, just a lot colder. This just feels slightly different, that's all. Noisier for one thing. And we're just coming up on Leicester Square with the pointless, in my opinion, M&M store, which is 4 floors dedicated to sweets. Now I like an M&M as much as the next man, but 4 floors is bloody ridiculous. And I'm avoiding people with my stick. So I don't usually do this, it's such a touristy thing to do. Right, well, I'm coming up in Chinatown, as I said, so I'm going to have something to eat. I will flip the camera because this is quite nice. To Leicester Square at Christmas. There's a big fair in the square in the middle. Now, I believe that Beyonce and Taylor Swift are here, or Beyonce was here yesterday for the Renaissance tour. Doubt very much if you hear me at all, but this is nice. And there appears to be a fire juggler. If you're lucky, later on, there's a woman with a megaphone who preaches to everybody in the street, and nobody pays attention to her later. I'm going to be walking past here later on, so I think I'll come the long way round. And she's here, shouting into the ether. Yeah, there's a bloke doing... And so, back end of Leicester Square, there's these little areas you have to book and you can do busking.
Some people are with me, some people are confused. Alright, fair enough. Let me explain.
Last time I was here, there was a guy doing football tricks. Nobody was paying attention to him at all. He lost his rag after about 2 minutes and pissed off. But what was really weird was that in the middle of his act, I was with Max. That was the first time I saw a Brooklyn woman. And this guy came up and stood beside us, started doing his own football tricks. Nobody was paying attention, we thought it was some kind of bit. But it was just this random guy who was trying to edge in on this guy's act. Because you have to pay, you can't just turn up and perform. So there's a famous video of a girl on a tube station just started singing. She got about halfway through the first line and they came up and said, no, you can't do that. You have to book, you have to pay. Otherwise everybody would be doing it. There's a bridge in between Charing Cross and the London Eye. There's always buses halfway down, they're not supposed to be there, but they do it anyway. Anyway, I'm going to go have something to eat. Very, very busy around here. This is just a little insert. One of those little walking videos you see. There's a YouTube channel, Watch the Walker, something along those lines. He does lots of these videos where he walks through London or cities. He did one at 4 o'clock in the morning when it was raining. Absolutely so peaceful, tranquil, very relaxing for someone like me anyway, who loves the sound of rain. Anyway, I'm not going to have a Burger King because I always have a Burger King and they're really horrible. Greasy as hell and overcrowded. Well, I'm going to get some food. Thanks very much for watching again. This is just a little insert I'll probably throw in somewhere in the main video. Back to the regular scheduled programme. Thank you. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. I will hopefully get back into some content. I will not obviously have the same set of curtains behind me because I'm in a completely different place. But fingers crossed, now things have settled down and I am finding my feet, so to speak. I'll get back on it. Just a gentle reminder to certain people, the world does not revolve around you. As far as it goes with regards to a certain person, the impact he has on my life is somewhere between belly button fit and that stuff that clicks between your toes when you have athlete's foot. Oh, yeah, no. So that's how much I care about that. And like I say, a month later, absolutely nothing has happened. So I'm moving this around to get it out of the way. I'm really hoping I'm not making anybody too seasick. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. And thank you very much for your support and sticking with me. Thanks very much.